Hello, and thank you for joining me for today's VBC Daily 3. I'm Pastor Tim Vahlstrom, and today we're going to be covering a chapter from the book of Psalms, 78, verses 18 to 29. Now, if you remember, we always like to go through these things by reading them through 3 times and asking ourselves 3 questions. What does it tell us about God? What does it tell us about ourselves? And what should we do about it now? Well, this chapter 78 of the book of Psalms, was written by Asaph, and it was a recounting of how God had been faithful to Israel over time. Now, in this verses that we've studied today, in 18 to 28, we see over and over that even though his people are testing him, angering him, letting him down, he is faithful. So we learn that God is faithful and will faithfully provide what we need. And this is amazing because he's faithfully doing this. He provides the bread of heaven through manna. He provided quail. In fact, he was the first person to do DoorDash. He delivered this quail right to everyone's door. They didn't even have to go hunting for it. So we see that God is an amazing and faithful provider. So what does it tell us about us? Well, in these verses, we read that we continue to doubt, even though we may have seen incredible things. These people have seen God deliver us from the Egyptians. They have seen God open a Red Sea. They have seen God serve water to millions by opening up not dirt, but a rock. And now we're going to doubt that he can actually give us food. It's insane. And our insanity causes us to doubt God, to disbelieve God, to demand of God that he fix whatever's going on our way. An amazing thing about these two things together is God, even in the midst of these demands and disbelief, remains faithful. So what should we do about this? Well, to me, I think it says we too can lose sight of God's blessings in our life. We can lose sight of how far he has brought us to this point and how many things he has accomplished to deliver us right where we are when we face our next challenge. So my admonition and encouragement for us today is don't doubt, but remember God's faithfulness. He will never leave us or forsake us. He's led us too far to abandon us now. You see, we should not be afraid, even when life gets gloomy and long and dark. Sometimes it's easy to look at the long and the dark and the gloomy and forget the faithful God that has provided everything we've needed up to this point. So what I would just encourage us to do this day, when we read this psalm, is to know it's so easy to forget miracles and disbelieve God. We need to refocus when we feel down in the midst of what looks like an insurmountable challenge. How do you feed 3 million people in the middle of a desert? We have a faithful and amazing God that can deliver food right to everyone's door. They don't even have to go for it. That same God delivers to us today, and he can take you through and out of whatever situation you might find yourself in today, because our God is faithful. Don't doubt. Trust his faithfulness. Thanks for joining me today on our VBC Daily 3. I would encourage you to come back tomorrow and listen and pray with us as we pray over this wonderful passage of God's faithfulness and provision. God bless you.